Oh, I'm so excited. I get so excited in the presence of God. It's just absolutely amazing. The Son of Righteousness has risen with healing in his wings. Healing for the nations. Healing for you. And healing for me. Healing for the sick. Healing for the oppressed. Healing for the addicted.
Yes, amen. Come on.
He says, I am. He told Moses, he says, go and tell Pharaoh to let my people go.
Yes.
Moses said, who do you want me to tell him? Sent me. Who am I? I don't even talk very good. He said, you tell him that I am sent you. And that's how I want to be remembered throughout all generations. Because I am. What do we need? He is.
Yes, hallelujah.
He is.
Yes.
You know, I'm so excited about what God has done in my life. I'm so glad that Jesus set me free.
Amen.
I'm so glad that Jesus set me free. And I'm so glad that he came to give us life. And because that Jesus lives, I live also. See, the very first time that I ever met the Lord was on February the 2nd of the year 2000. And I was in Muskogee County Jail. I was facing 20 years to life in prison. I was an alcoholic and an IV drug user, and absolutely there was no hope for me. Absolutely. The world had given up on me. My family had given up on me. Kim Glass would never be anything but an alcoholic and a drug addict. You know, the last time that I called my family to tell them that I was in jail was on June the 15th of 1999. I called them, I'm in jail. They said, thank God. I ain't coming to get you. You know, it's pretty bad when your family's glad that you're incarcerated. But at least they knew I was safe, had a roof over my head, they knew where I was, they didn't have to worry about that. But about 6 months, I guess, into my incarceration, some things happened to a point. We were in jail and we had drugs, we had needles, we had everything we needed to get high in the jail. And I say that at that time, there was a war going on over my soul that I didn't realize at the time what was happening to me. But I thank the Lord, you know, that when I gave up on myself, when I saw no hope for me, when nobody else saw no hope for me, Jesus did.
Amen.
You know,
Yes.
God could see something that nobody else could see, you know, and he was able to perform miracles that nobody else could have ever done, that I couldn't have done for myself, that no, Jean couldn't have done it, Barna couldn't have done it, Stephen couldn't have done it, Arlene couldn't have done it. Arlene can do a lot of things too. But she couldn't have done it. But I say, you know, I realized that I could write poetry when I was incarcerated, and the first poem that I ever wrote was in the midst of this battle going on over my soul. And the very first words to this poem was, have you ever felt the pressure between heaven and hell? The angels singing from heaven and the demons screaming from hell? Because that's where I feel like I was, just stuck in the middle. And you know, I had no idea. You know, I heard about God throughout my life. I had heard about him. I'd been to church a little bit as a kid, but not much. I've been raised in a very dysfunctional home, and God was just not real to me. God wasn't a God that cared about us or loved us. I did not know that God so loved Kim Glass that he sent his one and only son to die for me.
Oh, Jesus.
That if I would just believe in him, that I would never perish, He would give me everlasting life. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that God didn't send His Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world could be saved through Him.
Yes.
See, I didn't know these things. I've been on lockdown for 37 days straight. It's not a nice place to be when you're in jail, because you're already locked up. Now you're in a little cell and you can't never come out. They bring your food to you. They bring everything to you. On my 37th day, needless to say, I was in trouble a lot. On my 37th day of being locked down, the guard came on my intercom and he said, "Glass, if you'll go out there and go to church with those ladies, we'll unlock your door and let you out." So I unlocked the door. I didn't care how I got out. I just wanted to get out. So I went out there. I was just glad to go out there and sit down at that little table. And that precious little woman right there was the very first time I ever met her. And she came, you know, God is so good. Do you know that He has plans for us?
Yes.
Plans to prosper us and not to harm us. Plans to give us hope and a future. And He sent that woman to begin to reveal a plan in my life. She sat there and she didn't try to shove Jesus down my throat and tell me I was going to hell and I need to get saved and da-da-da-da-da. She said, "What's your name? Are you married? You got a boyfriend? You got kids? Tell me about yourself." She befriended me. You know, I think that's what Jesus did. He came to be a friend to sinners. He came to be a friend. He didn't come for the healthy, you know. Because the healthy don't need a doctor. But Kim Glass needed a doctor. The great physician. Because see, I had tried everything that the world said would help me. AA, NACA, rehab, counseling, psychiatrist, psychologist. I'd done it all. Tried to commit suicide several times because I wanted out of it so bad. And I just saw no other way. But she came, and that day, I didn't know. I always say that the Lord tricked me. Because I would have never went out there had the Lord not tricked me. You know. But I went out there, and that day, I said a prayer. Now, I didn't know nothing about nothing. I just said a prayer. And I went back to my cell, and I felt something different on the inside. You know, at that point, I did not feel the earth shake or big lightning bolts come from the sky. But I felt something change inside of me. And I went back to my room, and that's when I began to write the poetry. And that's when the drugs began to come in the jail. And it was just like everywhere I turned, there it was, there it was. I had no idea. I had been an addict for almost 23 years at this point. Had no idea how to say no to drugs. You know, that little sign that you see everywhere that just says, "Just say no." You know, that's easy to say. Just say no. It's not that easy for someone that is addicted to drugs and alcohol.